I'm Matt Swing. I'm a producer for Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life, and we work in the sports media industry.
Yeah, I'm Kelsey Lukens. I'm a technical director with Fantasy Life and yeah, sports media industry as well.
Our main two projects that we utilize Cues for is for Fantasy Life with Ian Hartitz. That show goes out to our YouTube channel, to Roku Sports, Fubo, Unbeaten, and our podcast networks. And then we also utilize it for our various shows on LG channels, which is more of a standardized television format. We're finding that some of our previous ways of doing rundowns, whether that be in Google Sheets or Word docs or spreadsheets, was a little confusing, and Cues allowed us to be able to encompass our timings as well as all of our graphics requests all in one place in order to make it more consolidated and easier to read for the production team and the talent.
I like that Cues allows to add things to the rundown to help them run the show. So we have a director's notes column, which allows me to basically put any information that I want in there that the rest of the crew can't see because I don't want to jumble up their rundown with a bunch of my own personal notes. So that kind of allows me to do my job a little bit easier.
Being able to have a working document that we can reference when we are building out our shows, when our graphics team is building out graphics, is a great resource for us to have it all very clearly labeled in one place. So Cues has been just very good for that aspect of things as well. Not just our shows, but everything that we do afterwards too.
Instead of having to scrub through the master outputs, I can just look in Cues and find, item 6, number 5 is the thing that I need to grab and stuff like that. So everybody being on the same page helps, pre, post, and during production. Because it's a web-based service, it's a little less intensive. So we don't have to have a server. We don't have to have everything involved with that sort of setup, which is important for us working in a remote workforce. We don't need to have a giant server room that just runs a computer that just runs our rundown software. Everything lives in the cloud. Allows us to stay mobile, to add people in when we need, take people off when we need. And yeah, just without that added infrastructure cost, I feel like we run a little bit more efficiently, which is important for us.
For our hosts, Cues has been extremely useful as they are the ones like on screen, moving us from item to item, keeping us on time. And so for them to be able to have a resource that very clearly tells them, hey, there's this much time left in this topic, or for me to be able to adjust things on the fly while they're in show and discussing things without me having to necessarily get into their ears or message them in a chat, has been very useful for us as well. The most useful feature for me as a producer is to be able to put our timings in there and to be able to keep time in real time and to be able to adjust it on the fly as we're going through shows, to be able to float items that we need to cut, to be able to do all of that and to have it automatically update to the time that I have set in there for that episode is extremely helpful. Like I said, so I don't necessarily have to be fully in the talent's ears as they are having a discussion, as we do mostly talk show style shows. It's been extremely useful for us.
The technical setup was relatively easy, and if we did ever run into any questions or anything, the team at Cues was always eager to help us out, eager to help us, work through any problems that we might have. They checked in with us, after we started using it to make sure that we were understanding it and making sure that it was actually helping us instead of just, something that we were dragging along. So I think as far as the technical setup goes, having that customer support, makes things easy for us. What Cues allows us as a production to do is kind of all work remotely, basically. We don't have to download software on our computers, and we don't have to constantly be running things in the background. We just go to a website and the information's in front of us. We click on a link and we're there. It's kind of allows us to bring everybody into a control room or into a studio without physically being in that space. And you don't get that a lot.
I would recommend Cues to other companies, especially in a remote workforce where everything is on the cloud and browser based. It makes it really easy to be able to stay organized as a production when there's a lot of moving parts, especially in a remote environment. And so for any remote based production companies or making content with people in multiple places, it is a great resource.